Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. It is August 3rd, about 8 p.m. Central Time, my time. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're watching this video, please do. It means the world to me. I'm trying to get to 1,000 so I can start doing live shows while Law is in Oxnard. I don't know. He's gonna zoom in or something and be on one of my videos, try to help me reach that 1,000 subscriber goal. But yeah, subscribe, like, and share, guys. I put my free time into this as much as I can, and always been a dream of mine to be a part of the team more than just a spectator. So the big news, Catboy, like I said in my previous video, the walls were closing in. He's going to have to open that checkbook. And we're all thinking wide receiver because Jabril Cox is not looking horrible in camp. And then, boom, Anthony Barr. We signed Anthony Barr. I didn't see that coming. I got to be honest with you. I thought we'd have to have one more linebacker drop before we brought him in. But if he intends, Catboy and Jerry, on bringing a veteran receiver in also, it's all good. Now, Anthony Barr, what this does is this solidifies our defense. Our defense was going to be good as it was. Now, you add Anthony Barr into the mix. Our linebacking core was the thinnest of that side of the ball. All we had was LVE and Parsons with experience. Everybody else did not have much experience. Cox had a couple games under his belt. That was it. Now, insert Anthony Barr into the picture. He's not in his prime anymore, but neither is Ndamukong Suh. Hasn't been for years, but still very effective, as will Anthony Barr be. He had 72 tackles last year. He had 2.5 sacks, a couple forced fumbles, also had 3 interceptions. He almost had an 80% completion rate against him in coverage, but he had 3 picks, and this is an opportunistic defense. And Edwards, defensive assistant, was his DC in Minnesota, so he has connections. He's gonna fit right in. He can play off ball or on ball, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna play off ball about 90% of the time. So that'll leave him and LVE at linebacker, while Parsons can do a lot more things now. And I bet you he'll be around the line of scrimmage a lot more, being able to get Anthony Barr now. Because if you wanted him around the line of scrimmage a lot more, you'd be a little bit worried about the linebacking core, because you got LVE, and then you would have Cox or Luke Gifford. Now, that's not a problem. The Wolf Hunter and Anthony Barr, 2 very, very serviceable linebackers, above average. And if we can get Leighton Vander Esch back close to his 2018 status, to his rookie campaign status, if anybody can bring that out of him, it's Dan Quinn. Because he didn't have a bad year last year. Yeah, he had a pretty decent year last year. Last year was his best year since his rookie year, the Wolf Hunter. Now we bring in Anthony Barr. 8 seasons, 4 times in the Pro Bowl. At one point in time, he was the highest paid linebacker in the NFL. That's how good his peak was. This guy can still ball. I knew it was just a matter of time before Catboy had to loosen that kung fu grip on that cash and open it up a little bit. Now, if we go and sign a receiver, we're going to be good to go, guys. I'm talking about we're going to be good to go. Because the best thing that could have happened to us, really, is Devontae Bond going down at linebacker, which created a void. And now James Washington goes down. Could be out 10 weeks. It's August 3rd. So, October 3rd, you're looking at a little bit shy of 9 weeks. So he probably won't be back till mid-October. Gallup will be back by then probably also. So we signed a veteran receiver, and I'm looking at Will Fuller. I want Will Fuller because of his top end speed. He'd be the fastest wide receiver that we have. And whenever 13 is healthy and is back in the lineup, could you imagine CeeDee Lamb, Will Fuller, Jalen Tolbert, Michael Gallup? Oh boy, we're going to forget who Amari Cooper was. That is a plethora of weapons. That is a nice receiving group with Tony Pollard as offensive X factor, because he can play a decent wideout position also. He was a receiving back in Memphis. He didn't tote the ball much. The running back number 1 did. Forgot his name. He went around earlier in the 2019 draft. So I predicted, we'd be a top 10, maybe top 5 defense. Having Anthony Barr solidifying that linebacking corps, I guarantee we have a top 5 defense. Better than last year. Not as many takeaways probably, because that's really hard to repeat, and sometimes the ball just has to bounce your way. But this team is going to allow less first downs, less yardage, less points, and it's going to get off the field just as much as they did last year. They got off the field often last year because of turnovers, time takeaways. They're going to have their share of takeaways, but they're going to get off the field just as much, if not more, by just getting stops, 3 and outs. And then that's going to put the offense in a good position with the run game, as Zeke can still wear a defense down in a full 4 quarters. Out of all the defensive players that are still out there besides Sue, Anthony Barr was the best fit and best player to plug into this defense. He is a plug-and-play guy. He is very familiar with this scheme already. So with him, LVE, Parsons, and Cox as our starting linebackers, that's beautiful. Got some congestion today. I do apologize. Now, the money has not been revealed yet. It's a 1-year deal, as we know. If we sign a Will Fuller at wide receiver, that'll be a 1-year deal because we want to win now. We don't want to, punt the season away. That's stupid with all the talent that we have. 1-year deal because Cox will still get playing time this season. We sign a Will Fuller. Tolbert will get, his fair share of playing time. And next year, Tolbert and Cox won't be so green, and they'll be ready to take over their respective positions. And Anthony Barr and whoever we get at receiver, most likely their services won't be needed anymore. They're just bridge players, 1-year bridge players, just like Robert Quinn was. But getting them increases our chances this year. And this year, the NFC is wide open. Next year, who knows? You know what I mean? Green Bay could make some crazy trade and, grab a super tight end, a super wide receiver, and a super pass rusher. And, teams are, they just get better gradually. At least most of them do. So today was a good day. I knew that if we were going to sign somebody, it was going to be in training camp. I said that about a month ago. It was going to be in camp. We were going to see who we had, how they looked, And, Cox wasn't looking bad, but he wasn't looking like Dan Quinn wanted, and trusted 100% where he could sleep easy, knowing that Cox wouldn't blow an assignment more, this and that. Anthony Barr is just more reliable. Give Cox 1 more season. This will be his 2nd season. And by next year, he'll be ready to man the linebacker 2 or linebacker 3 spot. And same with Tolbert. So, kind of funny how James Washington goes down and we sign a defensive player. But I think that was in the works all along. I think the agent, Barr's agents and the Cowboys have been going back and forth for months. And they finally reached, um, a deal that they were both happy with for one season. Because if Anthony Barr shows out no, and has a splash here, he'll get a deal in the offseason for some team that's looking to make a run, and he'll get paid 9-10 million a year, especially with the cap going up. So I'm assuming he took a pay cut because I think last year he was at 11 million. I wouldn't be surprised if he signed for half that, 5.5, 6, maybe 5. But why not? Why possibly not play the season when you could play and make $6 million? I'm just guessing that's what it is. It's not bad money, and I don't understand why players get so greedy. But yeah. So our defense, our defense is what is going to take us as far as we go. Our offense is going to be good. They're going to be efficient and consistent. But our defense, when the saying, offense wins games, defense wins championships. We haven't had a defense like this since the early '90s. I mean, 2018, we had a good squad. But I don't know. It was kind of like flukish in a way. I don't know. 2018's defense is kind of hard to describe. And in the first round of the playoffs, shut down Seattle, but in the second round, Gurley and the backup running back Gurley on one leg, they both get over 100 yards, up the middle, and we still had the general, back then, Sean Lee. But this defensive coordinator that we have, it's all about Dan Quinn. He's the one that's creating this defense. A certain coach can bring out certain traits in certain players that other coaches just cannot do. And it's a gift. It's a gift that Bill Belichick has had. That's why Bill Parcells is a great coach. Great head coach. But I don't think he gets those 2 Super Bowl wins with the Giants if Belichick is not his defensive coordinator. Especially that second one against Buffalo. Because if you look at those four playoff games the Giants had, wild card round, divisional, conference championship, and Super Bowl, Bill Belichick, there were 4 completely different teams, and Belichick had to put together 4 brilliant defensive game plans. That 1991 season or 1990 season to get them that Lombardi trophy. And then he followed Parcells to New England. Their defense was stout as could be. Went to the Super Bowl. He followed them to the Jets. That defense was stout. Went to the championship game. But then Parcells goes to the Cowboys in '03. And, of course, Belichick is a Patriot head coach. Our defensive coordinator, then, I can't even remember, but we had the number 1 ranked defense that year. So, I don't know. I just don't think Parcells would have won both of them. He might have won one, but not both without Belichick. But that's just an example of how coaches can get the best out of you. And that's what we have in Dan Quinn. And he's getting the best out of everybody. They're buying in. When players buy in, it's a whole different ball game. In 2020, they weren't buying into Mike Nolan. They were just blowing him off, like he didn't know what he was talking about. And, everything was Zoom, COVID year. And he had this complex defense that would take 2 off seasons to really get your mind around. So the players weren't buying in and they weren't hustling. A la the Cleveland Brown game when we came back and it was a 3-point game and they had to end around the OBJ nobody really hustled to tackle him. And, he takes the end around all the way to the touchdown to seal the deal. But they're buying into Dan Quinn. And Dan Quinn is uncovering some gems. After Quinn is gone, J-Ron Curse is still going to be a good safety. Micah Parsons is still going to be a great linebacker. Neville Gallimore and O.C. Adigizua are still going to be good defensive tackles. And Dorrance Armstrong, all of a sudden, is becoming an entity on that other side of the defensive line. And it just so happens that LVE had a good year last year. First time since his rookie year. First year that Dan Quinn arrives on the scene. This defense, he is creating another Legion of Boom. But different. It's not a cover 3 defense. It's its own defense. But he's creating another Seahawk type defense. And as long as the offense doesn't turn the ball over and controls the clock well and just plays smart, we have a good shot this year, guys. I know last year I said it was a special season, and it was. But we were missing a couple pieces. And we had, some rookies that aren't rookies anymore. So, I don't call me a homer, call me what you want. I'm being realistic. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Cowboy fan. I really do believe, especially if we go out and sign a T.Y. Hilton or Will Fuller, this team is going to be ready to rock and freaking roll, guys. Put your cards on the table because it is time to go. Time to go. Let's see what happens in this next week because we're going to need to sign a receiver quick if we do so he can get acclimated to the offense and know which route to go and where to go. So him and Dak are on the same page because whoever we sign will be wide receiver 2 or 3. But, yeah, great news today. We've been wanting Anthony Barr forever. Finally got him. Oh, man, this makes our defense so freaking good. I cannot wait to see us shut down offenses. Quick 3 and outs. And then having a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter. And then having Zeke just eat away the clock. This is going to be a fun season, guys. We're about to have a roller coaster. Y'all better get your popcorn ready and have your seatbelts fastened because this 2022 season is going to be fun. And every Sunday or Monday night or Thursday night, we are going to live and die with each game. It's going to be fun. That's it for this episode. If you watched the whole thing, I do appreciate that a lot, guys. Please subscribe, like, and share. I do appreciate it. September 11th is not far away. Cannot wait. Week 1, baby. Week 1, TB12 is going to have his first loss against the Star. And that's going to start our season. Mark my words. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. God bless. Be safe. Crazy people out there. Stay away from them. And DC Nation, unite. And let's get ready for this season, guys. That's it for this episode. Charles in Charge is out.